Good morning from Singapore, here in the back with a beautiful bridge. Now, unfortunately, I can't tell you a lot about Singapore because I didn't do my research. This is one of those moments of where I'm just transiting through a country. The question is whether this is really gonna be a nice video about Singapore or just an experiment of what happens if you put me severely sleep deprived after a night on the plane in a random country that I haven't done research about. I guess when I see the footage I will know whether I'm making any sense at this moment. There's also moments where I feel like, am I hallucinating? Because is it normal that people run here naked? I don't know. This is Singapore, it's all new for me. I think this bridge looks nice, but I feel a bit ashamed that I have no clue what's going on. It's extremely beautiful here actually. I guess this is just me being surprised about what Singapore has to offer. Like I said, I didn't do any research. There was a sign earlier that said that this used to be like some kind of marketplace. I know my basic history, like the British colonized it. I think the Dutch colonized it before that. You can definitely see the British influence over here. Oh my god, like the more I'm talking, the more I'm realizing how extremely tired I am. I probably look like shit. Beautiful park here with a sign that says it's a smoke-free park. Fine of up to $2,000 if you smoke. I also knew that Singapore is serious when it comes to their laws and regulations. $2,000 for smoking in the park. So that's definitely a common thing here apparently, that people are running naked in the park. I was just talking about that Singapore takes its laws and regulations very seriously. And just as I was saying that, I see this police heritage trail commemorating 200 years of policing in Singapore. So it's a trail you can walk through the city and see like buildings that have to do with policing in Singapore. I only have a couple hours here, so I don't think I can do that right now. I had to put my sunglasses on. I'm not used to this. It's winter where I just came from. It's like 25 degrees here, pretty nice. Also another really cool building here. I don't know. Oh, it's a theater. It says it's a theater. This city actually this country, which is the size of a city, is extremely clean, and it does make sense because fines for littering are that high. They're serious, you know. If you break the law in Singapore, you're gonna be fined at best. What the hell is this building? Honestly, this area is pretty nice. I kind of feel like when I went to China for the first time, which was also on the layover. I went to Beijing, and you can see that video on the channel, where I also arrived completely jet-lagged, without any idea how to navigate myself. So, I mean, on the plus side, everyone in Singapore obviously speaks English, so that helped. And also, I could just use my debit card to use the train to get to the city center, and also the whole place isn't that big, so I would argue getting lost is quite hard here, although I shouldn't say that yet. Just saying that ending up jet-lagged here is not that bad. It's pretty nice here. This is a children's museum, but actually I'm going to this really big park. Apparently it's a very uphill walk. It's just an interesting city, and this is also a smoke-free park. I don't believe there is a smoking park here, but anyways, they put the sign up everywhere, so if you somehow missed it, it's clear. I think I entered the park, and I have to say, so far it's quite lovely. The city is really full of greenery. It's on the one hand a very modern city, but they put like parks every few meters, so that's actually quite nice. With birds. I'm just gonna cherish the peace, the cleanliness, the serenity of this place, because in a few hours I'll be going to Cambodia. I believe that will be a completely different story than here. In that sense, this is also a pretty good place for a jet-lagged transit. It's not overloading, and full of naked people walking. I think I'm just gonna sit on a bench here. I don't think this is gonna be a video. I'm just talking for myself. This is just for myself, I guess. I don't know who I'm talking to at this point. Hello from Cambodia, Siem Reap. I don't know if you can still recognize me. I have a different hat, still Thomas Travels. It's a really beautiful building. And this building used to be the Angkor Panorama Museum, as shown above there. However, a couple of years ago, it was permanently closed, and it still has a sign that says we are closed. I don't think it will ever open again. You can also see that this poster here, hello, shows it's not it had been in use for a while. It's a beautiful building though that resembles like a temple. Now the reason as to why it's closed was because inside of it is a panorama that was built with the support, or actually fully built by the North Korean government. So North Korea basically built this whole place and the panorama inside, and in exchange they took most of the income from the ticket prices. Since North Korea was hit with a lot of UN sanctions, the UN and especially the US is not particularly happy with this source of income for the North Korean government, which is why they closed it. And since I have an unhealthy amount of interest in North Korea, this is why I know this. That's not the sole reason why I'm here though, because I'm also here for the Angkor enterprise. Because if you're a foreign citizen and not someone from Cambodia, and I'm not someone from Cambodia, you're forced to pay a hefty ticket price to enter Angkor Wat, the famous Angkor Wat. It's a huge complex full of temples. As a tourist, you're paying $37 for one day. If I could have gone to the panorama to see some real North Korean art, I would have done it. But unfortunately it closed. Anyways, now I'm gonna buy this ticket so I can explore this whole complex. Also, I want to point out that although it might seem like I'm very knowledgeable about everything, from now on I won't know a thing, because we're talking about Cambodia here, and I know not much about Cambodia. Earlier today I visited the National Museum here in Siem Reap, so I have some kind of context of where I'm going. But the only reason I knew about that other building is because I have an obsession with North Korea. Anyways, let's get the ticket. As you might see by the complete redness of my face, I really went on a crazy mountain bike trip to get here before it closes. But I made it, the most famous site in Cambodia, Angkor Wat. Now my problem becomes I have no idea what to tell you. It's not made by North Korea, I know that. It's pretty beautiful. I've got to say, this is extremely beautiful, especially now at sunset. And a tip for you if you ever visit Cambodia is that, yes, the ticket price is very expensive if you're not Cambodian, because then it's free. However, if you get your ticket at the ticket center after 4:40, 4:45, you get a ticket if it's one day. For example, in my case it's one day. You get a ticket for the next day, but it's valid from that point on this day too. So kind of, I get in for free this evening. So you can see a sunset and then a full day tomorrow for the price of one day. But look at this, it's gorgeous. There's actually a lot of stray dogs, not just here, but also on the way here when I was cycling. This one looks really cute, actually. I'm a bit scared of them. Not because I'm scared of dogs. I used to be scared of dogs, but that's not it. It's just that if they bite you, you basically have to get a rabies injection within 24 hours. I don't want my trip ruined by a dog biting me, but he is very cute. It has to be said. And it's a really beautiful view too. Completely alone here. It's It's cool. It really reminds me of like the Tomb Raider games. I believe actually like a movie was made of Tomb Raider and that it was filmed here, maybe because in the city I see a lot of references to Tomb Raider as well. Last evening, or last afternoon rather, I was at the Angkor Wat, which is like the main temple that everyone knows about, and that also was really beautiful, by the way. There were a lot of people. I don't think you can go there without there being a lot of people. There's all these other temples in this area that clearly people don't visit as often, and they're pretty cool. This is really cool. It feels like I'm the Tomb Raider now. I'm the one exploring these ruins. This is gonna be one hell of a climb, but I think it's gonna be beautiful on top. Well, I hope so. Oh my god, this is these steps are insane. Wish me luck. Hi, so I'm at home now editing the video, and I just wanted to explain why this video is a little bit different than all the videos so far. Because normally I go to a country, I make a video out of it, or I make several videos out of it, especially if I've been in the country for long. I was in Cambodia for almost 2 full weeks, and this is all the footage I got from it. Because what happened was, when I was filming in Singapore, which is the beginning part of the video, you also noticed that it finishes quite soon, and the reason for that is because I just felt like I was completely jet lagged, which I was. But not only that, I was actually starting to get sick. I started to realize that when I was going around the whole temple complex near Angkor Wat. And I realized like, oh my god, I'm getting sick. So that's when I kind of stopped filming. I still tried to see some beautiful places if I could, but most of the time I was just sick in the hotel. I'll show some of the footage, like around the temple area I saw some monkeys. Later I went to Kampong Chnang and I was like, you know what, I have to see something of this country, you know, even if I'm not filming it. I got sold some kind of tour, and I don't like tours, but I was like, you know what, at least I will see something, I don't have to think too much. And then I went on this boat ride to this like traditional village. People who are living on the river. I felt like you're going to like a poor neighborhood to look at poor people. I have some footage of the boat, I will put that in here, but I didn't film the people. I went to some other places. You will see some of the photos. I also made some photos on the way back in Singapore. I had a really nice day there, but I was just still too tired to film. So that's why I just combined the little footage that I had of Singapore and Cambodia into this video. And I hope you still enjoyed it. Cambodia was, especially the temples, they were really nice, and I was also really surprised by Singapore, but unfortunately I don't have that on video. If you liked it, please leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more travel videos. Hopefully I will travel again and not get sick so I can film it. Also make sure to leave a comment, I always read all the comments. And yeah, thanks for watching, see you in the next video.